One of the films being featured in the online version of the Sundance Film Festival is Behind the Startup, IceVan.com. It's a tongue-in-cheek version of a very familiar tale, the rise and fall of an internet company. Like so many half-baked ideas behind real-life.coms, the business plan for this startup was to sell ice online. Needless to say, it didn't really work out. Earlier this week, I spoke to two men behind the film, Cal Deutsch, who co-directed the film with his wife Sharon Zazima, and George Corrigan, one of the writers and actors.
Early on, Jeff Kimball and Elliot Galakowitz knew they would create something big. That something became IceVan.com, the internet ice delivery business which reached the pinnacle of success until it all melted away.
I have to say, first off, I saw the film about 3 weeks ago, and it reminded me of a mixture of IceVan, the rise and fall of IceVan.com, as we all know and much miss, and Startup.com, the movie. Was that in your mind when you put this film together?
To be honest with you, we made the film before we even saw Startup.com. So we basically started with our own ideas. Some inspiration on the IceVan experience, but as you see in the film, we talk more about Furniture.com, eToys,
right.
The ones that had already failed. If you look at a lot of the .coms that we had seen, typically you would have a very charismatic CEO.
Right, and then the geek.
And then the geek. And we wanted to capture that and show somebody that was more talk than substance.
Meeting with the prestigious venture capital firm of Kleiber Pickens, Jeff Kimball worked his magic on a skeptical audience.
It's ice.
A very good point. But water's free and people still pay $2 for a bottle of it. And more so, it's much bigger than ice. It's the delivery of ice. And it can be the delivery of more than ice. It can be tongs. It can be buckets. It can be designer ice. It could be ice from the glaciers of New Zealand. It could be worldwide.
Jeff's impressive pitch hit the VCs like an avalanche, and his energy more than made up for his partner's shortcomings.
It's going to do for ice what eToys is going to do for toys, what Pets.com is doing for cuddly animals, what Furniture.com is doing for furniture. It really is a category killer.
Did you do any time in a .com? You seem to have that roll down pat.
I actually worked in a B2B software company for a little while.
So you're able to channel your inner analyst then.
Exactly.
We lived in the Bay Area, which was enough. I also worked for a .com, and I have to admit I got laid off a few months after I made the film. Hopefully not because of the film, just because of the economic environment that we live in right now.
Right.
Jeff pushed for a $2 million Super Bowl ad, although it meant they would have to sacrifice other marketing priorities.
Good, bad, or indifferent, I just want it to be big. This sounds big, I say we go with it.
We couldn't get Ice Cube, had to settle for Vanilla Ice. You know, ice, ice, baby. Not the same powerhouse.
The resulting visits to the website were below expectations.
People drink beer in the Super Bowl. You don't put ice in beer. Duh.
What happens after Sundance? What happens after the ice melts, if you will?
Well, this is so much fun, and it's so relatively easy to do. You just need a digital camera and an editing computer,
right,
and suddenly you're a filmmaker. So we've got a stack of projects underway, shorts, and just to set our goals a little higher, we're also working on a feature-length script that hopefully maybe somebody in Sundance can pay attention and say, hey, you guys might be able to do this.
We want to congratulate you both, Cal Deutsch and George Corrigan. IceVan.com. You can see it right now at the Sundance Online Film Festival.